It was giving techno butterfly. And it's fucking dubstep music. First time my nipple has like actually been exposed in public. Hey guys, it's Kenzy. Welcome to my YouTube video. Today we're going to be talking all about my EDC Orlando experience. EDC is a music festival surrounded around EDM music. It's super fun. It's 3 days long. I went for all three and I just want to share my experience with you. Maybe you're thinking about going to EDC Orlando next year. Maybe you just are here for the story time and a good time, and I'm happy you are here. So let's get into it. I'm gonna be looking at my phone just to go through the footage from EDC to help me with timeline and like show you some things. I want this to feel like I'm FaceTiming a friend. And you're my friend, obviously. So the music festival was Friday to Sunday. I live 3 hours away from Orlando. I live like Fort Lauderdale area. Not bad at all. But when we got to the hotel, we met up with the whole squad. The squad was truly very non-judgmental, which I loved, and the 5 of us were in one hotel room in Orlando, and it worked out great. The hotel room was very spacious and stuff. We wrecked that place, but we made it work and it was fine. We all went in the hotel room, checked in, pampered ourselves real quick, then we left straight to the stomping grounds, to EDC. It was like right before sunset time and we were there right for Xoxo's set. And I love his music, so it was such a vibe. It was such a vibe. We were all fucking glowing during Xoxo's set. Like the sun was setting, it was golden hour, vibes were high. Just good times. We stayed at the main stage the whole time for day one. It was just house set after house set and artists that I really wanted to see. We had Xoxo, Deadmau5, Griffin, Cascade. Oh, they were all so good. I'm definitely missing a couple like off the top of my head, but they were fire. And we were all vibing and thriving. It's just insane how music can move you and make you feel and just put you in a different energy. And every genre does that differently, which is just beautiful. Anyway, Griffin comes on for his set and he's playing the tunes, bopping the bops. And this girl that's in the crowd, she was like, yo, get on my boyfriend's shoulders. And I was like, a little weird, but okay. I got on. When I was in the air, guys, like just the perspective of being on someone's shoulders at such a big venue with a lot of people, I just felt like I was on top of everything. I saw everything from more of an outside perspective, and it was really amazing. I just felt the music differently and connected differently with everything that was going on. So I highly encourage getting on someone's shoulders if you're ever at a music festival or just a concert, because it's really perspective altering and it really completed my weekend, to be honest. Yeah, that was a little side note. After I was on his shoulders, I got off. Griffin, he's like bumping these beats and he comes into this climax and about to have this beat drop, right? But it's all house music right now. And then he drops the beat and it's fucking dubstep music. I was shook. We were all shook. We were all thrown off, but still flowing with it at the same time. It was so cool. And this dubstep just comes on and we were like, head bang. We were just like intuitively moving, and that's just what the music was making us do. But before EDC, I literally was shit-talking dubstep music. I'm gonna be so honest. I was shit-talking dubstep music. I was like, I don't understand it. I would never like that. And then Griffin drops this little dubstep beat drop, and I'm like, ugh. I need more. All of us were like, we need more. So yeah, that comes later. But that was just awesome. That was honestly my favorite memory. This house climax and then into this dubstep beat drop. And all of us just moving so intuitively, not being worried of judgment. Also, we were in a great group of girls who are so self-expressive and non-judgmental, so that made it a lot easier to just be free and be ourselves, and I loved that. But that was 100% my favorite memory because I was opening myself up to a totally new genre of music. Like dubstep, I told you, I was shit-talking it right before the music festival. Well, now here I am headbanging to it and fucking living my best life. it was just a cool transition and opening for me to realize, hey, you can also express yourself to this kind of music and move however it makes you move. So yeah, I learned to be open to new sounds, new ways to dance, new ways to feel music, which was absolutely beautiful. At the end of day one though, I totally had the craziest dreadlock in my hair. I wish I filmed it, but I did not. The whole middle part of my head was a dread because of this headpiece I was wearing. This dread, guys. It took me forever to like comb through it, but I miss it. I'm not gonna lie. I used to want dreads, and I think EDC kind of showed me I do still want some dreads. Not my whole head, but a few for sure. They're kind of fun, and it felt so cool. Okay. I just like that music festivals are so expressive and they allow you to just be yourself and be free and just flow. That's what they're all about, and people are so open to that there. Come on, there's literally a guy in a tiger costume dancing on a cake here. Like, when are you ever gonna see that? It's such a wholesome, inviting, safe space. To summarize day one, I would say it was more of a day for myself to just come back to my own energy, to be honest, because leading up to EDC, I was working. I was like, I need to get all these things done before I let myself relax at EDC, which is something I'm trying to work on. I need to work on giving myself rest and compartmentalizing my time better with that stuff. But anyway, yeah, I was overworking myself before EDC, not sleeping much, and then I feel like my social battery was quite low by the time it was time for EDC. I naturally just really need to re-energize alone and come back to myself alone before I hang out with people or before I go on big excursions like this, and I definitely didn't give that time to myself before the festival. So I feel like day one was kind of me catching up on my energy and immerse myself in my flow, which was a great learning lesson for me. Is the next time I go to a festival, rest. Vitamins, sleep before you go. Okay, also do yoga and meditate, do whatever helps you feel most like yourself, most connected to yourself before you go into environments like this. Because obviously you want to connect and vibe with everyone, but I feel like I just didn't really have the mental capacity to do that on day one much. So yeah, just a pro tip. So at the end of day one, we ended up going to an after party at home base, which was super cute. It kind of was giving like a very miniature sized EDC in Orlando. Like, they had different stages, different vibes, different genres, and we were getting into like the wubs music there. A little bit of light dubstep, but more like wubsy, and it was super cool. I liked it a lot. Day two, I loved my fit for day two. It was giving kind of goth Barbie moment. I was wearing the bodysuit. I had pink braids in my hair. I was really feeling it. Let's talk about day two. I woke up feeling pretty tired and honestly very disconnected from myself and just not in the best mood. I think it was because I was really tired from day one. I think it still had to do with me just having not given myself space to connect to myself. I should have gotten up and done some yoga or like a meditation or something for myself, which is something I know now, but yeah, definitely want to come back to yourself, especially if you're naturally an introvert like I am. You need to save your energy, you know? But anyway, we get to EDC, and because of like my weird mood that I was feeling, I was kind of worried I was gonna have a bad day. But when I was thinking that, I was like, okay, but it's only gonna be a bad day if you let it be a bad day. You're only going to have a bad day if you continue to think bad thoughts. But who's in control of your thoughts and what you give attention to? I am. I am. That was a really nice realization and just like wake up call to, I am in control of my experience right now. Do I want to have a bad experience? No. So I gave myself a little bit of space and came back to myself, and I was fine. Little like mindset shift, but it was really, really helpful and much needed, honestly. Day two is also when I kind of realized if you go to festivals like this in groups, it's totally normal that people want to maybe do different things or maybe spend more time doing something. rather than another thing. So this is when I really recommend splitting up as a group. I know it sounds kind of scary, but EDC Orlando is small enough to find each other again, and you do have decent internet connection, or at least I did, Verizon people did, so you could figure it out. And if you just like make a meeting spot and the time, I'm sure you could work something out with your friends, you know? But basically, I felt like different people wanted to do different things a little bit. I really wanted to check out the boutiques more and like take photos more, but I felt like that wasn't really the vibe of the group, and I just wanted to stay with the group. So it's chill, but I feel like I could have used my experience more and catered more towards what I wanted to do. So in the future, just know you can split up, make a meeting point, meeting time, and make it work so that everyone can do what they want and still come together at the end, you know? Also, another thing that day 2 really brought to mind was the fact that EDC and the whole experience of the music festival is everything you do when you're in there. Yes, dancing at all the sets is a vibe, you know? But you can also listen to that music and enjoy it and appreciate it from outside of the dance floor, from eating some noodles in the grass outside. And the noodles, like the food itself there, is also part of the art. And then there's also like huge sculptures and cool things to look at. That is also part of the experience. That is beautiful art and random cool shit that I just like didn't really look at that much because I felt like we were always dancing, and which is great and I loved it, but like next time I'm definitely taking more advantage of the fact that the whole place is art and I gotta explore more. Also like look at the boutiques more kind of vibes. You know the phrase "be here now"? That applies to everything, but especially like you can see it a lot in these festivals, because sometimes you'll be like, okay, well, why am I here? Like, why am I sitting in this grass? Why aren't I over there on the dance floor? And it's like, wait, the whole point of what I'm doing now is this. The whole experience is me sitting in the grass, enjoying time with my friends, listening to the music. That is your experience. I don't know if that made any sense. All you have is this moment now, and no matter where you are or what you're doing, be present and enjoy it, because you won't have it again. But everything is the art. Everything is part of your trip. Everything is part of your experience and what you gain from it, what fills your cup after it. So really enjoy everything. Still had a blast on day 2. We got into the house sets, but also checked out these dubstep sets, because the night before we were like, yo, shit, that dubstep teaser was amazing. Like, let's get the whole shebang. And kind of wish we went to Subtronics, but I forget who we saw instead. But, oh, I think it was Zed. And, like, Zed was fucking phenomenal. So, not mad about that. A lot of good artists were playing at the same time, which was like heartbreaking, but you know, you had to pick and choose. The dubstep stage that we ended up going to, we saw Liquid Stranger's set, and it was phenomenal. It was so good. It was more like wubsy with a little bit of dubstep, like headbanging stuff, and we were all living for it. It was so cool just to see all of us house music lovers and dance music lovers like come out of our shell and experience this dubstep. We were like, yo, this shit's fire. Where have I been? I feel like that stuff is so different live, but once you hear it live, you'll like it, you know, off of Spotify kind of thing. But live really set that in stone for me. Dubstep is so cool because there's no way to really move, but you just know you want to like like a headbang kind of thing. Anyway, Liquid Stranger was amazing. Zed afterwards was amazing. And overall, day 2 was a beautiful day as well. And that brings us to day 3. Day 3 was the day I was on it with the lineup. I had so many people I wanted to see, and they were all like back to back. So that was go day, go mode. Last day, go hard. My fit was super fun. I actually didn't end up wearing the fit that I had planned. I just like mixed and matched some pieces that we all had, and I loved it. It was giving dark butterfly, techno butterfly. it was giving techno butterfly. I loved the hair, I loved the gems. It was just, I was really feeling it, honestly. So day 3's highlights. I stepped out of my comfort zone and actually shuffled more than usual in front of people. If you don't know, like, I like to shuffle and I've been learning how to shuffle. I'm not crazy good at it, but I know the moves and I like to do it and it's fucking fun. You should definitely try it if you like house music or techno or something like that, because it just feels so good. And at EDC, it just felt even better. The music was just so much louder and you could feel it more in your chest because it's like bass after bass kind of thing, and shuffling just felt like I was opening a zipper with my feet. It just felt so smooth and so slick, and once I started, I actually could not stop. I wanted to keep going, but I was also like, is this too much? But yeah, stepped out of my comfort zone with that, because I would shuffle a tiny bit on day 2, but I started noticing that if you start shuffling in a random spot, a lot of people look at you, and it kind of gave me a bit of stage fright and anxiety. But day 3, I was like, okay, fuck it. If I want to shuffle, if there's like a good song that I want to shuffle to, I'm just gonna shuffle. People are gonna look, it's part of it, but I'm gonna have my fun and whatever. My boob did pop out in one of my shuffles, which was quite awkward, but my sister caught it immediately. We fixed that shit and it was fine. Okay. But yeah, that was kind of funny. That's the first time my nipple has like actually been exposed in public. Moving on, we got there kind of early on day 3 to prance around and take pictures, which was fun. I wish we took more pictures, but it's fine. I just feel like that's such a big part of the experience, is like the creativity and all the art that goes into it. So being someone that loves taking photos and like fashion, I needed to do that more. So that's something I could have maybe split up from the group to go do. But now I know. Day 3, we started off at like this techno stage, and I was super drawn to this stage throughout EDC. I loved it. Techno, I think, is my favorite. Techno just has such a good spot in my heart. But house music, man, like house is just so cool because you can do a bunch of different things within house. You can have just random beats. You can add some techno. You can add some dubstep. You can add some Spanish. Like, why the fuck not? I feel like house, anything goes. Techno, dubstep is more dubstep. My face is getting so hot. I'm getting so excited talking about music, to be honest. EDC was just catering to my fucking needs, man. They were just catering to my needs. All the way down to the visuals. Let me show you these visuals. During disco lines, they had this disco dolphin visual that was just going crazy. Ella and I were like, yo, disco dolphin? Yes. Giving me everything. Liquid Stranger actually also had some really good visuals. So they knew what was up. Day 3 was also the day I really was like sensing energy. I know I'm an empath and I know I can feel energy regardless of where I am, but just being in a music festival with your friends, like connecting to yourself, connecting to others, being in that kind of situation, I feel like energy was just even more enhanced. So it was cool to see. All you have is this moment right now. Be here now. Enjoy the fucking moment. Live in the present. I'm gonna always preach that and say that. It's just cool that music festivals really can teach you something and be spiritual lessons if you let them be. Overall, I loved my EDC experience. It was beautiful. I did get super fucking sick for the whole week after. I take being sick kind of spiritually too, because I don't get sick often, and usually when I'm sick I can connect it to something that's going on in my life or my chakras. I felt like it was my body releasing emotional trauma and anxiety that I was releasing at EDC. After about a week of being sick, I finally did some movement for my body, and the first thing I did was about an hour and a half yoga flow. I just flowed intuitively and listened to what my body needed. That's the first time I've done yoga intuitively. That's also the first time I've had a crazy traumatic yoga release. It was insane. You know how you store trauma and emotions in your body, and sometimes when you stretch really deeply and you're just in it, trauma comes up. Sometimes you start crying. I've cried before in yoga, but this was an hour and a half of just like me stretching and traumatic like experience popping in my brain, in and out, in and out. And I wasn't crying or anything. I was just being the observer, letting it happen, and releasing it with every exhale, with every deeper stretch, and it was just amazing. I feel like that's what I needed to close off EDC, was just a connection to my body, because I'd been craving it, and a full release. Oh my God, it was so good, guys. I can't even explain how magical that yoga flow was. And I know it definitely had to do with me releasing things from EDC that no longer served me, releasing things of my past self before EDC that no longer served me. To sum it up, I felt like EDC really helped me connect deeper to myself and my body, and just be more fluid in my ways, less rigid and like stiff, you know? I feel like I grew more as a person with the whole anxiety tips and mindset hacks, and just knowing how to come back to my energy, being in tune with other people's energies, just becoming a more confident version of me, to be honest, which is awesome. I look back at pictures of me before EDC, I'm like, she was a different girl. And that was only 2 weeks ago. I really learned that I'm in control of my anxiety, I'm in control of my mindset, I'm in control of my thoughts. And it was really empowering to consciously be in a moment where I could decide between good and bad thoughts, and I chose good, and everything was good. EDC also opened new portals for me to dance, feel, move, and vibe. It showed me a new way to just express. I think music festivals are beautiful ways to just hang out with friends, vibe more, connect more, and appreciate art. I hadn't seen some of these friends in a while, and it was just really nice to hang out and be together and dance together, you know? It's just such a cool experience. I really hope you get to try it out at least once in your life. I'm bursting with joy right now that you are here and in my space. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, night, evening, whenever you are listening to this. Remember that you own your fucking energy, and you are beautiful just the way you are. Find people around you that let you express yourself the way you want to. Be sure to like this video, subscribe for more health and wellness, lifestyle content. I love you, plur, bye.